Typically when I get home and I gotta whip up dinner really fast, if I can find a piece of pork, and typically I have some salted fish at home, I would go to this dish. It's really comforting, it's easy to make, and I never get sick of it somehow. It's called steamed ground pork with salted fish. The two things take the longest is rice and water, so you get that going first. You kind of have to wash it. Some people think it's the dust, but also I think you wash out the starch. And I always cook with an electric rice cooker. Just life's a lot easier if you do this. I think every Asian family has one. But a lot of other families don't have one, and the Asian family eat more rice than anybody else. So you always do one, then your basket. You never put the food one, the first one, because the water will touch it. This is the shoulder, the front part of the pig, not the ham part. It's got a great mixture of fat content. I like to grind it myself because the texture is very different, but if you can't, if you end up just buying ground pork, that's fine too. You always should have a Chinese cleaver in your house. Makes it a little easy to chop. If I go like this, you know, just, you don't have the weight coming down, but hey, if you don't have it, use whatever necessary. Kind of particular about the ginger. I really want it nice and even, then shred it really thin, so it's a fine texture. The whole point of this dish is to create a nice, really interesting texture. Sometimes you can find jicama or water chestnut. You don't have to, you don't have it, I wouldn't trip out on it. You can do it with even just the shallot. Maybe some mushroom. I want everything the same, sort of like little dice, like a little dot that you're eating. Right? A little olive oil in here. I add a little fish sauce too, since we have a little salted fish. I'm gonna add a little cornstarch to it, smooths it out and binds it a little bit more. You don't have the cornstarch in it, it just tastes kind of scratchy, just like loose ground meat. Salt. If you don't have enough experience to really know how much salt to put in the meat, you gotta test a piece. If you don't put in the right amount of salt, it just kind of tastes bland, you know? Adding salt on top of it afterward doesn't work. I was cooking as a guest chef in Yosemite Lodge, made meal, I don't know, for 300 people, 100, I don't know, can't remember. And we realized that we got all these volunteers, we didn't have any staff meal, and I just whipped this thing up and everybody just loved it. I mean, most Chinese guy knows this dish. I wish more people know about it. Enough salt. This is, I believe, a mackerel. You can buy one of these in Chinatown, but if you don't have it, you could always kind of replace it with salted anchovy. The salted fish is not that salty. You use so little, like here, it's plenty. Cover this in ginger. And this is one of the coolest tools that you should buy to fetch the plate out of the steamer. If not, then it's kind of cumbersome because it's got liquid. We're gonna steam about 15 minutes. We're gonna just do a simple stir fry with some organic bok choy. So if you don't have a wok like this, you know, 2-inch gas line, and you just gotta sit here and wait until it gets super hot, you know. Just don't try to overdo it or cook too much product. That's it.
That was an insane amount of fire.
Hey, can you set the table? We're gonna have dinner. When I told Uncle Na that we were gonna do the show, the go-to dish, she said, "You're gonna make that pork dish, aren't you?" Because this is like our favorite dish, you know.